Next question is somewhat related, but also gets a little bit more specific into some of the economic questions that are related to the issue of immigration here. Since the passage of 1070, some Arizona business leaders have taken a more aggressive stance against state-based immigration proposals and other laws aimed at restricting the rights of minority communities, including the LGBT community. Do you believe that developing alliances between grassroots organizations and the business community would be beneficial, and how would you build such alliances? Yes, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Well, one of the things I believe very strongly is equality and fairness and equal rights for everyone. I have been endorsed by Arizona, Equality Arizona, and I'm very proud because also with the Stonewall Democrats, I stand very firmly in support of anyone, all Americans, because we're all people. But yes, we would have to work very hard to bring together a coalition of business partners, neighborhood organizations, and of course, people from all spectrums, because we need to build this power. We need to protect everyone. Nothing is more powerful than people. And I believe that everyone has should have equal opportunity, and that's what I would fight for. By strengthening businesses, coalitions like we've done at Roosevelt School District, we reached out to our community for help, to help us fund our education programs, and we've got some wonderful results. People respond to local government. Go to your people and ask them, you need help. You want to bring together a coalition of people to work together and talk about what can we do to bring equality and fairness to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Repeat the question.
The question is, more specifically, do you believe that developing alliances between grassroots organizations and the business community would be beneficial, and how would you build such alliances? And this, of course, is in the context of ensuring that we don't make the same kind of mistakes we did with SB 1070.
Okay. It's interesting because during the hearings of SB 1070, there were many of us Democrats saying, where is the business community? We knew full well it was going to impact them directly, specifically in agriculture and some of the other industries, and they sat idly by. They did not want to offend those that were in control, which were the Republicans. Over time, we've seen that change. We've seen the chamber stand up to some of those far-right legislators and coalesce with groups. Again, we saw that with Senate Bill 1062. How do you do that? You do that by sitting down with folks, bringing the stakeholders together, and letting them know exactly how the legislation will impact them negatively. You involve their communities so that those folks put pressure on them as well to get involved, to speak out against bad legislation, or to support something that's good for our community. That's how you do it. That's how I would do it.
Thank you.
I think in some ways this question is a little backwards, because I think we're talking about a difference between a business leader and a difference between a grassroots organization. When you think about it, we're all interested in the exact same thing. We're interested in our children learning. We're interested in jobs so that we can provide for our families. We're interested in our health. And so the question has to be, how do we get there? Well, we have to infiltrate. We have to infiltrate. So those folks that currently sit on those business leader positions, there's no reason why our young children who grow up with grassroots parents and grassroots activism can't get into those same boards. And in order to do that, we have to prepare our students with an education so that they can become part of those conversations. Finally, we just have to bring everybody to the table and have a good old conversation about what are the next action steps that we can all take to ensure that, you know, hideous bills like SB 1070 or SB 1062 don't happen again. But it all has to start with a conversation similar to what's going on here tonight. We're having a conversation about how to make Arizona better. And after we leave, we all have tasks to do. I think that's what we have to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Rogan.
So the first thing that we have to do to build those alliances, I think that we have to change the face of who our business leaders are. The fact of the matter is that we have incredible talent in both the Black and brown community. And minorities start, the new businesses are started by two out of the next 3 minority businesses are started by individuals who are minorities. One thing that we have to continue to do is we have to make sure that we are empowering each other, and we have to make sure that those business leaders who have those same values as those individuals in the grassroots community. So I don't see these individuals as people who have 2 different value sets. I believe that we have to continuously make sure that we're providing opportunities so those same individuals who would want to step out in the streets and fight for our rights, they're also the same individuals who are controlling business and economic interests in this state. So we have to continue to do both things, and we have to make sure that we're continuously working collectively.
Thank you. I love that a couple of people are not even taking the entire 90 seconds. It's moving right along. Aaron. But you don't get other people's time.
Okay. Yes, I think we need to bring grassroots organizations together with Arizona's business leaders. You mentioned in the first question about SB 1070 that SB 1070 has cost our state hundreds of millions of dollars. And so I think money talks with business leaders. I think the business community has sway at the state capitol. We saw that with 1062. The Super Bowl was starting to get pulled from coming to Arizona because the business leaders put pressure on the NFL, and the NFL put pressure on the governor, and the governor vetoed the bill. And if business leaders aren't acting quickly enough, I think that's where grassroots organizations can put pressure on business leaders and find ways to work together. As a state, we've seen the results of SB 1070 over the last 4 years and the hundreds of millions of dollars that it's cost our state. I think it's completely wrong-headed that we've moved in that direction. I think it's completely wrong-headed that we haven't recognized our position on the border as an economic comparative advantage to conduct trade with Mexico, our largest trading partner and the largest economy in Latin America, and with the dreamers that live in our state and the Mexican-American communities that is very much part of our community across the whole state of Arizona. I think that's an economic comparative advantage that we have to utilize and exploit to make sure that Arizona is the gateway for business to come into the United States with Latin America. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is amazing. We already have coalitions in place. We have top leaders in the audience. We have Mr. Salvador Ressa that leads with the coalition. We have Reina with ADAC. We have Somos here. We have our coalition in place. It's the business people that need the political will to collaborate and get the job done. In 2012, when I was in the House, I saw with my own eyes the business community come in and take down 5 anti-immigration bills. No fanfare, went past the governor and killed 5 anti-immigrant bills. It can be done. They just need to have the political will to now sit with our top leaders that head these coalitions and get the job done.
Thank you.